Most people only respect absence after they lose access to you. That's the cruel thing about human nature. When you're always available, always kind, always present, people slowly start treating you like you're replaceable, invisible, forgettable. And I learned that lesson in the most painful way possible. My name is Ethan, and for most of my life, I was the person everyone overlooked, not hated, not bullied dramatically, just dismissed, ignored in conversations, forgotten in group photos, talked over constantly. The kind of person people only noticed when they needed something. I grew up believing being a good person was enough. That loyalty mattered. That kindness eventually came back to you. So I became dependable, available, patient, always there for everyone. Friends called me when they needed favors. Co-workers dumped responsibilities on me. Relationships became emotionally one-sided. And every time someone disappointed me, I told myself, they don't mean it. But deep down, I knew the truth. People treated me poorly because they knew I would tolerate it. The worst part? I became addicted to earning approval. I thought if I worked harder, helped more, gave more of myself, eventually people would value me. But human beings rarely respect what they never have to fear losing. And I didn't understand that yet. At work, I was invisible. Years of effort, years of overtime, years solving problems nobody else wanted to touch. And still, people above me barely acknowledged my existence. Then, someone newer would arrive, louder, more confident, more charismatic. And suddenly, they received opportunities I spent years chasing. At first, I felt angry, then embarrassed. Eventually, just numb. My relationships weren't much different. I dated people who liked attention more than connection. People who enjoyed being cared for, but never truly cared back. I became emotionally convenient. The safe option, the reliable backup plan, and honestly, nothing destroys your self-worth faster than realizing people only value your presence when it benefits them. One relationship changed me permanently. Her name was Claire. And for a while, I genuinely believed she loved me. Because she said all the right things. She told me I was different, kind, safe, the kind of man she had always wanted. And like an idiot, I believed her. I gave the everything to that relationship: time, energy, patience, emotional support. I became the person carrying both of us emotionally while pretending it didn't exhaust me. And slowly, I started disappearing inside that relationship, not physically, emotionally. Because loving someone who only takes from you eventually turns into self-abandonment. Then one night, everything became painfully clear. We were at dinner with friends, and the entire night, she treated me like I barely existed, interrupting me constantly, mocking small things about me for laughs, flirting openly with another guy at the table while glancing at me to see my reaction. Everyone laughed awkwardly, and I sat there pretending not to care. But internally, something broke. Because humiliation changes you, especially public humiliation. Later that night, I asked her why she acted that way, and I'll never forget her response. She looked at me completely emotionless and said, "You're too soft, Ethan." That sentence stayed in my head for months. Too soft, not unlovable, not unattractive, not unsuccessful, soft. And honestly, she was right. Not about kindness being weakness, but about the fact I had no boundaries at all. I allowed people to slowly erase me while calling it love. That night changed everything. Not dramatically, quietly. I stopped explaining myself, stopped chasing people, stopped begging for emotional reciprocity, and for the first time in my life, I disappeared. I left the city shortly after. New job, new environment, new life entirely. And honestly, the beginning was brutal. Because when your identity depends on being needed, solitude feels terrifying. There were nights I questioned everything. Wondered if maybe people treated me poorly because something was fundamentally wrong with me. But distance creates clarity. And slowly, I started seeing patterns I ignored for years. I realized something uncomfortable. People often treat you according to what you tolerate. And I tolerated everything: disrespect, neglect, emotional imbalance. Because deep down, I feared abandonment more than mistreatment, and people sense that weakness immediately. Over time, I changed, not into someone cruel, not cold, just less available. I started respecting my own time, my own energy, my own emotional boundaries. I stopped trying to earn love through sacrifice. And strangely, the less desperate I became for validation, the more confident I felt. Physically, I changed too. Started training